Let's pretend that a major confrontation occurred between the Republic and Trade Federation forces on Naboo, shortly after the Trade Federation forces invaded the planet. The invasion of Naboo more or less started the Clone Wars, and a battle on the planet would make it the first battle of the war. In this scenario, the 501st, secretly commissioned by Palpatine, was the first Legion to be sent to battle the droids on Naboo. We're about to witness a skirmish here between a newly arrived clone battalion of the 501st and a Trade Federation droid battalion that was sent to eliminate the invading clones. If the clones fail to push the droid attack back, they will lose the advantage of catching the invading droid forces on the planet by surprise. This will turn Naboo into a much larger battleground with far greater strategic value, and it will also mean that the Republic Army needs to commit far greater numbers to the cause. Something the Republic would like to avoid, as a full-scale war between the two factions over the entire galaxy is about to begin. Before we kick off the battle between the clones and droids on Naboo, I wanted to address something in regards to our previous Star Wars video. Many of you pointed out the fact that Commander Gree was dead by the time our battle started, and that is indeed correct. Commander Gree was tasked with assembling and planning the operation before he was decapitated by Yoda. Our forces left our main base on Kashyyyk before Gree was killed, but arrived at the enemy objective hours after his death. Now, I hope that doesn't leave a disturbance in the Force. Alright guys, it's about time we get the battle started. I'm super excited to be in charge of the droid army today. This is a droid battalion that has been deployed to stop the advancing clone forces who have just recently landed on the planet of Naboo. You guys know the drill. I hope you guys liked the introductory video. I hope it sets the mood. Here comes those massive MTTs packed with the droids. We have a whole battalion here to deploy, and we also have one of these Hellfire or Hailfire. That is a Hailfire. Good thing to check out. We're gonna go ahead and disable the HUD. We're gonna keep it cinematic. We're gonna be deploying the droids, but for me to do it properly, I do have to enable the HUD again. Excuse moi. Meanwhile, let's take a look at the mini-map. Shows you all the formations and all the epic battle groups that we've deployed here today. Now let's do it properly. Now let's open up all the doors here on the MTTs. We have a grand total of 6 MTTs. So we've got roughly 600 droids on the field today. Not a bad number at all. Right now the clones know we're here, but they are not going to open fire. They are guests on our occupied planet right now. We were here first, so to speak, and they are still waiting for more reinforcements to land from the 501st. This is the first wave that they've managed to get onto the planet. If they lose here, they will have to reschedule lots of their ideas and plans for liberating the planet, so to speak. They'll have to find new landing zones, and ultimately they will have lost the one force that they sort of managed to strand by not being able to get more troops here in time. But the clones and the Republic Army in general, obviously very strong and powerful, so we'll see how it turns out. I'm going to make sure we don't have any squads, because squads will get a lot of droids killed, so trying to keep things as the previous battles, very cinematically and awesome like that. But I think these droids will just simply have to spread out on their own later once the battle starts. I know exactly how I'm going to kick it off for the droids here. Give them a little advantage. They could need it. They've been suffering recently. They've never had an easy time during the Clone Wars. But without further ado, let's leave the MTTs here for support. They do look pretty amazing. We might just back them off later. They're not really meant for serious combat. But enabling this mode, we're going to target a heap of clones down the center, and we're just going to open up. And the entire droid battalion, supported by all these dwarf spider bots, all the support droids, all the AATs, you name it, is going to attack the enemy. And it's gonna be a little laggy at first, but I really wanted to create the sheer scale of an epic droid engagement here. It'll get better as more and more casualties end up there on the scoreboard, so to speak. Oh, look at that. This entire clone formation here, this entire company, or at least 2 platoons just completely decimated there by the hailfire rockets. It's still active though, and it's riding down the center. This is not good for the droids nearby it, because if it goes down, it's going to end up in a big fireball. So luckily right now it's not being targeted by anything, but that can change rather quickly. All the clones have, of course, got AT weaponry. That was a close call right there. The super battle droid going down right in front of it. Starting to see some better frames here. Oh, look at all the AATs exploding. The clones are kind of staying down. They're remaining in cover. They're not pulling back. They're just waiting for the right moments to appear. Got some AATs flanking on the side there. Here comes the hailfire. I wonder if it's welcome around here. 2 AATs coming around the flank as well. There we go. It's down. And the first layer here of clones are kind of starting to fall back as more droids and more tanks are coming up on their positions. They've got AT weapons, so they can definitely hold their positions. They're capable of defending themselves. More dwarf spider droids coming up, though. That's going to be a little problematic here for the right flank. That AT was disabled as it was hit by a rocket. Droids are getting in range now of the clones. Look at them coming over the hill. This is amazing. Droidicas moving up, more AATs. The clones are really being pushed back, but they're going to do their best to survive and stick it out. It's really cool to stay down close to the some of the positions and just watch as the battle goes on in the distance. And we have some pretty suppressing fire, some pretty impressive suppressing fire was the word I was going for, as they're pretty much picking off every single droid that comes in their way. These are phase 1 clones, by the way, and look at the sheer destruction that has been made to the droid attack on the left flank. All AATs are going down. All these spider droids are just being decimated. The amount of ATTEs, it's not great. I hear a few warning signals coming off. This one is probably going to start smoking soon. It's probably taken some pretty serious hits there from the droid armor. We see that the shields are down. Hence the lack of the blue explosions, which would signal that the shields are being hit. Now it's actually taking fire to its main body. And we all know that, well, not all of us, but some of you pointed out that all-terrain tactical enforcers do not have any shields. They rely entirely on the size of their hull and their sheer thickness, which is quite cool to know. I didn't know that myself, so that's something that hopefully the developers will pick up on. Look at these droidicas moving up, being shot at there by the clones who are kind of like backing up. Droidicas! Move back! Move back! Like they're just suppressing it. I wonder if they're going to be able to take it down. This is pretty cool. Oh, there we go. It's just the sheer amount of blaster fire, and it's been brought down. How's it looking on the other flanks? We have a formation of AATs here, a whole battery, like, trying to bring this guy down, and they're still firing at him. We got some dwarf spider droids suppressing. This ATT here has just been completely destroyed. We have a lot of clowns surrounding that are kind of moving up. They've got AT infantry, plenty as a matter of fact, and some heavy weapons too. So I think they'll be able... Oh no, look at that. Tactical Enforcer has been brought down. This could be a victory for the droids, which would mean a lot to their efforts in preventing the Republic army from sort of stabilizing the region and ultimately recapturing the entirety of it. We've got both all-terrain tactical enforcers are active on this side though. They're returning fire as well, and the clones are starting to push the droids back on this side. That has been... look at that, the explosions. They're going to have a go at the MTT soon, who are only here to support the droids attacking. We don't want that to happen at all. More explosions come down here. And I think the AATs are inclined to move up on the all-terrain tactical enforcers who are still combat active there on the left flank. So they're going to try and spread out and move there, but now they're starting to take some rocket fire. It's going to be quite bad for the droids who are locked down here. Another rocket just passed. Oh, look at that explosion from the dwarf droid. That could have been a chain reaction, but it's not. I think that all-terrain tactical and... I think that AAT is down. It seemed to have stopped hovering for a while. It might have been emptied up as well. It seems like it's taken some pretty... some fire there, judging by the sheer color of the turret there, but they're actually pulling back. Interesting to see. The MTTs are pulling back now, realizing that the battle has kind of turned against them. Doesn't seem like the clones are willing to fall as easily as they thought, despite bringing up a really strong droid battalion supported by armor. More explosions in the distance. This ATT is now starting to smoke. It's going to go down in a matter of seconds, but the all-terrain tactical enforcers on this side are still providing some long-range fire at the droid armor that's coming at them. Look at those accurate shots. We had an explosion back there. That is presumably an AAT. The dwarf spider droid supported by another AAT is coming down the center. This is a lengthy battle where it seems that the clone infantry has come out quite superiorly to the the poor droids who were just deployed out of the MTTs. They've managed to spread out quite nicely, and they still have a lot of presence on the map. They're just kind of blend into the terrain there, and there goes that AAT smoking. Look, and the remaining droid infantry back here is currently lacking droid armor. Is just forced to pull back. Look at the sheer chaos on the battlefield, all the smoking wreckages of all the all-terrain tactical enforcers, and not to mention all the AATs and all the craters that are left from the support droids and the dwarf droids and whatnot. Absolutely disastrous. The clones seem to have been, or they seem to be victorious, as a matter of fact, just in general. And they just do not only seem to have won this local battle on one of the flanks, they seem to have actually been able to stabilize the entire situation. The droid battalion sent to counter the invading clone forces has been pushed back, and within hours, the rest of the 501st will land safely on the planet. This will allow the clones to battle the remaining droids with full force. The Republic may have won today, but the war has only begun. Join me later for more Star Wars battles. You guys have a great day. Bye.